on this track. The right track. Alright, here go the gates. Remember, this is a no-horn location. High speed moving right along. Not moving right along. This train's moving right along. Outside the gate. Sorry, I wasn't really out. There's not a gate on this side, so I'm not really outside the gate. Close to the train anyway. Sorry. The rock train. No, those are closed hoppers. Sorry. Could be sand. Concrete, not the pot. We don't have sand in Florida, the kind to make concrete with. That's why they make coquina. Does everybody know what coquina is? Coquina is a mixture of sand and shells broken up. That creates the grittiness. It's still not as good as hardcore northern sand with rocks in it. But the old fort is made out of coquina, I believe. Or made with. I mean, a lot of it's granite. But the connecting, they fill in the, you know how concrete works. Home of the unit train. So now this is all hoppers, another unit train. All hoppers. I've seen. So this is there was the auto train, there were tankers, then there was a mixed train, and now we got another unit train. All going into Florida. I mean, Florida is booming. For those laymen or people who are not familiar with it, so this is Baldwin. Due west of Jacksonville, basically on the border of Georgia, the northern end of. Alright, so it's not a complete unit train. Basically, the northern end of Florida, the entrance to Florida. Yeah. A couple of tank cars there, and now we're back to the hoppers. Brand new covered, brand new gray covered hoppers. Is that a unit train when there's two tank cars mixed in there? I think you can get away with it. Alright, there you go. Unit train of hoppers going into Baldwin Yard. Alright, so Matty Cook is here with you once again. I'm at the County Road 312 as opposed to the State Road 312, which takes me out to my island home. Anyway, my trailer. Anyway, here comes a northbound. I don't understand what's going on here, but hold on. Alright, so up in Jacksonville this morning. I got up early and did some scouting and so I've been driving here south on US 1 all the way from Jacksonville, nothing on signal. And then I get to the congested part of US 1, St. Augustine, and there comes the northbound train. So then I gotta fight my way out of town and risk getting a speeding ticket to get ahead of this train so I can film it. I don't get it. Why was there not a green signal the whole way down US 1? Anyway, I'm just venting. I didn't get a ticket. Look at this big, long, beautiful tree. Is that too much sun? I'm going to swing around. It's too bright around here. Look at this big, long, beautiful tree. Seriously, I don't know why I'm not getting more viewers. Because this is epic Florida East Coast Railway. Does everybody hate the Florida East Coast Railway because we found it in Florida? I mean, we built Florida. Yes, I worked for them. Yeah, I wasn't there at the beginning. Anyway, come down to my channel, man. Invite your friends. I don't beg for subscribers. Likes, I guess I should. But if you know anybody that wants to see something different and you're not around this area, ask them to watch my stuff, man. Well, you got a few auto racks. Auto racks, you saw, well, you'll see. 2 unit trains of auto racks went into the CSX yard. Entire unit trains. By the way, not 100 cars, like long unit trains, just auto. Alright, there you go. FBC northbound, Saturday, I guess it's the 21st. Alright, Matthew Gugas here with you once again. I'm here at the county offices. You can't figure it out yet. Look, I'll do another road trip. Just chill out, man. My gig is FEC. I used to work there. I live here. I can catch all the trains within minutes of my home. It's my gig. This is a northbound train, one of the northbounds. 202, 204, 206, 208, I don't know. Anyway, again, I told you I never memorized the train numbers. Coming north, but it's 99% empty equipment coming back from South Florida. I won't blab through this whole thing. Here we go. Wider anyway, yeah. That's the equipment. Yeah, you know. Alright, the interesting thing about intermodal, I said I wasn't going to blast the whole thing, but it's a lot of different equipment. I mean, look at all those UPSUs. UPS is killing it, man. Werner's on board with putting their trailers on the train in a big way. Hobby Lobby, I saw this. Yeah, I just paced this train coming through town. So, more Werner. Crowley, Maritime, sails out of Port Jacksonville and Fort Lauderdale. And they operate all over the world, but they serve Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. he's come through the speed restrictions. Now he's throttled up to Jacksonville. Cold here this morning, 36 degrees. Yowza. Taking one with the team. The team. Who's the team? Who's on my team? Let me know in the comments. Anyway. Now look at that. And we finished out with a bunch of empty well cars. Alright, there you go. ABC northbound. So I'm going to film here today, Watson Road. This is Matty Gukas here with you once again. Filmed the two crossings in St. Augustine that I missed. One of them is Wildwood. You can see, if you zoom in, you can see those cars going by. That's Wildwood, and this is Watson Road. Look, they're getting in them. I was over here the other day, but I don't know if I remember if I showed it. So I thought this was a little maintenance track, but no, they got a couple box cars set there, and two guys just drove in that white truck. Like, I don't know what they're gonna unload. But right now, I'm looking for a signal for the second northbound, and as I refresh my memory, there's no signals in either direction, so I missed that first horn. I was asleep in the car. There's my guy right there. He's having fun. They got some friends over here. This is Wildwood Road. Sorry, I meant Watson Road. Wildwood Road is my next person. They got some friends over here. This young man I met. They filmed the train for him. Sorry, they took the horn. Remember I told you they were tooting the horn down here? So you can barely see it, but around this corner is my home crossing. These roads go sick. That's big, about 3 miles. Yeah. 5 miles. I tried to walk to that signal from here. What you see the signal from here. So there is a signal out there around the corner. St. Augustine, not downtown, the heart of the residential area. All right, Matty Gukas here with you once again at the construction site. Bridge over the San Sebastian River, and boy, those signals really light up on a dank day like today. But stay tuned, we got northbound. So I showed you the fire station the other day. This is the other side of it, where the trucks come out. They just had that ladder all the way up. I'm sorry I didn't have my camera out. It's just telescoped back into this position, and now he's playing with it. Maybe he's training, maybe just making sure everything works. Anyway, let's see if he shoots it up again now that he's moved it. Probably that one function was done, and then the next function is to turn it. And then, if it operates fine, at some point you're done with the inspection. Wow, I didn't wear my windbreaker out here. It was a solid wind. I'm letting it run, you should see. So the ladder's coming down. Move out of this. Stupid signs aren't in the picture. Anyway. No U-turn. Do not enter. Do not enter. Do not enter. No U-turn. Speed limit. free country, my butt. I'm being facetious, but dummy me. I mean, did anyone know that they were going to build a new bridge? That working on a bridge while trains are running is not really possible. Because that's what I thought they were going to do. And silly me. Hey, I was in intermodal marketing. What are you going to do? But so they're building a new bridge right next to that bridge, and I know I said it earlier, but this is the official announcement. So we get to watch a whole new bridge put in. Tell your friends. And I'm going to go back to the truck and get my windbreaker because it's damp and cold. Hi, Matty Google's here at Palmer Street. I ditched that bridge. Sorry, it's cold and damp, and it was a solid wind on that bridge, and there's better days. You've seen that train go over the bridge. I'll be doing it again and again and again while I'm documenting that construction. But I want to come over here because I mentioned this place a couple times and I forgot the name. So it's Palmer Street. And now, yeah, you can see the sign down there. If you zoom in right next to the box, the equipment box. That's the Elton Lead. So this is Palmer Street. Hopefully I can remember the name of this place from now on. Chances are I'll space it out again until I write it down. If I write something down, it becomes part of my permanent memory. I have that thing that I think she was Filipino, maybe Korean woman had that she got all this publicity for photographic memory, and I'm like, I have that. So I see somebody in a place. I may not even interact with them, but that face becomes permanently embossed in my brain, and so when I see them again, I think I know them or I recognize them. And I've tested it over and over and over and over again. So the best one is I did landscaping. You know, I took care of older homes and like a handyman landscaping. And I was over at my client's house working, and their neighbor came over, and I knew this woman. I was like, I know you, and she's like, I don't think so. Anyway, it went on and on and on. She stayed there with my client for a while and talked. So it turned out we worked together at International Transit, which was the trucking company that brought me into the railroad. I mean, that transaction. Anyway, and then she was like, oh yeah, I remember you. Of course you remember me, because I remembered you. I mean, of course I knew you. Anyway, another time was a guy at the Jaguar games. I used to see this guy at the Jaguar games every Sunday, and even though we didn't even sit next to each other, and he was off in the next section, at least, but I was like, I know, you used to sit in the north end zone. He's like, yeah, how'd you know that? Anyway, because I have photographic memory. Anyway, let's see if that works. It doesn't work if I don't write it down, though. If it's like a number or the name of a street. All right, so for those of you around here, you get a kick out of this, and everybody else, I thought this was interesting. So they're trying to sell this little strip of land here next to the tracks. And why not? They're building on every square inch around here, but I thought this was cute. So on West King Street, just to our left here, our south, there's a little craft beer what's the word I'm looking for anyway? There's several craft beer places that opened up. And so you can make craft beer here, but you can't sell it. You can sell pot, of course. I guess that you can do everywhere, not everywhere, but some uses, selling pot. Great. Anyway, whatever, man. Medicinal marijuana. I think it's stupid, but I mean, I tried it for one of my health concerns. It didn't work. I mean, it wasn't an ideal situation. I'm not blaming but it's look, I don't begrudge people want to get high, but just admit that you're under the influence of something. That's all. And it's an addiction. I know these guys, I can quit tomorrow. It's never today. You can probably fit a couple little homes in there. I'm being facetious, but they're building homes everywhere else. This is I mentioned it in another way, but this is how opportunistic that the real estate. They're building on every square inch down here. Everybody moved here. Everybody. It's not even funny anymore. It's the traffic is so congested that I hate every second of it. Like 2 and 3 light cycles sometimes at some of the major intersections. Some of those intersections that I could drive right through with a green light just not too many years ago. And now you're waiting 2 or 3 light cycles. Anyway, God bless them. But we all know why people moved here. But this is how opportunistic the real estate industry has become. They're trying to sell little or lease little bits of land like this. In case you didn't know, this is kind of the beginning of the hood here in St. Augustine. If we have one. Anyway, West King Street is considered the hood of St. Augustine. It's non-eventful. Anyway, look. People move to places where they know people, they have family. We packed everything up and moved to Ponte Vedra, Florida because my wife's family was there. Same reason that Chinese people move to Chinatown, because they have family there. This part where we're segregated is actually just self-caused. Some people reach out and they branch out and they live in areas not where they don't know anybody, but while I'm yapping, check out that large osprey. Is he coming this way? Shoot. Oh, he's probably too far to see. Oh, he just went over the tracks. And that's the nest. I just caught that out of my eye. That's the nest on top of that tank. And one of them's in there. Close, he's coming. Oh, just barely. Oh, yeah. So, in case you didn't know, this is kind of the beginning of the hood in St. Augustine, if we have one. Ha. This is for comedic reasons only, by the way. But, yeah, this is West King Street. Has long been considered like the hood. Anyway, it's so stupid. I grew up in Boston, separated as any place in the world. I don't say segregated because no one told anybody they had to live anywhere, okay? People like to live around people like themselves. We moved to Ponte Vedra here in Florida because my wife's family was here, okay? Same reason that Chinese people moved to Chinatown when they emigrate here, because they have family there or they know somebody there. Anyway, this whole thing that we're not desegregated it's just a bunch of baloney. It's just another issue they try to divide people with. Okay, people live where they want to live in a free country, and they probably most likely live where they know people or even family. All right, so I forgot to put my sign out. And so I got checked on by not one, but two St. Johns County Sheriff's officers. Thank you, guys. And, well, I didn't see the second one. They didn't get out of the car. Thank you, Sheriff's officers. I'm glad you're able to do that. It is a very safe community here, very law-abiding. So, God bless the fact that you can go around and check on people. But This is kind of a rough area too, which goes along with what I was just talking about. All right, so that reminded me I was going to do kind of like a thought for the day. Was it Jack Handy? Was that Dana Carvey on SNL anyway? I get that nobody likes the politics. I don't like it either. I wish it would go away. But the thought for the day is going to be that there's no such thing as segregation. Really, it's people live where they want to live, and they live around people they know and like. And so, yes, people have different races, colors, and creeds live near each other because they have friends and family, or they like to be around people like themselves. Okay, so if I like if I'm a saltwater fisherman, okay, I'm not gonna move to Oklahoma, okay? So there's a lot of saltwater fishermen that live around here. Why? Because there's a lot of saltwater fishing. Okay, there's no saltwater fishermen in Oklahoma. I mean, there are people that wish or that go saltwater fishing sometimes, I'm sure, but you get the point. I know, I was just trying to hurry up and get here too. It's been over an hour now since I filmed that signal. And then I was shut up and go away, right? Anyway, another quick note. So that sheriff's officer didn't ask me for ID or registration, and the other one didn't even get out of the car. So, I mean, they're not. I don't know, how do you describe it? They're genuine. They're not. If they weren't genuinely asking me if I was okay, they would demand that I hand over my credentials, and then they would take it to the car and see if they could find something to arrest me for. All right, make a move, and I was gonna go check the signal again, and sure enough, here comes the train. So now I'm stuck over here. That's Palmer Street that he just blew the horn for. I was driving away from it. All right. Anyway, he's not going to blow my horn to me, but I wish FBC would just give me the app. It shows where these trains are. I mean, I think I've shown good faith. I mean, I used to work there. I mean, look, if I'm a terrorist and I want to blow up your railroad, I mean, I don't need your app to tell me where the trains are. I mean, look what we're doing. We're shooting drug boats off the coast of Venezuela. I mean, from some building in Utah or something like that. I mean, come on now. Just give me the app. Give me access to the app. Anyway, it's all good. So I was in the car waiting at the light, and so I had to back. Fortunately, no one behind me, so I had to back up and tear across this parking lot into this grassy area behind ABC Liquors. Just so, right, and so you've been here before. There's the big turn, the second big turn. They've just come out of the first big turn. Well, if you're coming north, the first big turn, and then that's the bridge, which I will continue filming in this direction, and you'll see the bridge. So it's all right here. Well, you can see Flagler College and the old buildings opposite in the right-hand part of the screen. So hopefully people that aren't from here are starting to get the lay of the land. If you want to Google Earth, I'm right here at ABC Liquors at the junction of US 1 and West King Street. Tennessee Tropicana, still running. They're having a real problem on the West Coast. Florida. The Tropicana over the oranges over there have been dying out, like in groves, literally in groves. Like some disease and drought. The last couple of years of not, well, they call it drought. Not enough water is a drought. Anyway, the orange crop is well, when I was down in Naples last, it's non-recoverable. It's so bad they're not going to be able to recover from it, is what I was told. So you might see oranges, more oranges coming from other places in the world besides Tropicana in West Florida. Sorry for the movement. I had the train like disappearing in the center of the street. I realized maybe I was going over on the right. We have another long northbound train, and 2 locomotives have no trouble pulling this because most of this stuff is empty. I know I've said it 100 times, but I'll keep reminding you. Still don't see the end. So alright, so they leave out of Fort Lauderdale, they stop, they pick up the manifest in Tropicana and Fort Pierce. They put it together and go on their way. That's what, and maybe operation done differently, but all these containers, and some of these containers will be I'm gonna have to go down there again. That other intermodal yard, you see the Norfolk Southern Auto Facility. Getting old, man. Getting old. Alright, there you go. FEC northbound. First one today. That's a cool view. You got the crane and the train going by on the old bridge. I'm gonna let it run. Yeah, you guys can zoom in. Alright, there you go. Stay tuned. Alright, Matty Googus here with you once again. I'm on the drawbridge on State Road 206. And I saw a car stopped, and that's why. So I did the same thing. It's a nasty day, cool, and you can see the cool, but look at that sun. Looks like a beautiful warm day. Anyway, goodbye sun for another day. I am going out to film the FEC 107, so stay tuned. Just a few more seconds here, maybe. Clears that little cloud bank. I won't stay here till the very end. I might miss the train. Amazing. What an amazing world we live in. Look at that. Alright, let's put me in the picture today. Matty Cook is here with you once again. I'm over here at Wildwood Drive. You may recall, I talked about this, but you definitely recall, I made such a big deal about filming at every crossing in St. Augustine. And then I found these 2 crossings down here, Watson Road, which I filmed at last week. And then Wildwood in this residential area here south of town. And So now I will have every crossing in St. Augustine. Anyway, waiting on the 105. Today's 105. Stay tuned. So I'm waiting on the 105. I call it the elusive 105 because what I really want to call it, I'll get kicked off YouTube for. Anyway, the problem with this train, my problem with this train is it never leaves at the same time. It never seems to leave at the same time. I mean, every time I come out here for it too, I wait because I've seen this train go by early, 12:30, and in fact, the other day I was at I had the signals, and then, I knew the train was coming and signals yet, so I went over to the thrift store, and while I was at the thrift store, the train goes by. I mean, how does that happen? No signals in St. Augustine, 30 miles from the yard, and then I'm over there at the thrift store for 20 minutes and the train's going by. Anyway, what was happening is it was the lights were coming on, the signals were coming on at 1:30, and then, which is good. I wish that was the case, but I've seen it go by at 12:30. There's no signals here at this Wildwood crossing, so I won't be filming here again unless it's happenstance. All right, so another thing, I got some good news for you. I'm going to do some videos with trains and music and not me yapping. That'll make some people happy. Certainly will make my voice happier, which is almost gone. I have medical conditions that I can't really describe in detail. All I know is I'm lucky to have a voice. I know it sounds like crap. Originally it was nasal, New England, cold weather, plugged up nose, and now it's 20 years of binge drinking. You're lucky you have a voice. Anyway, I started my 17th year of no alcohol. 16th year of no alcohol this year. My son turned 19 in January. I quit right around his 3rd birthday. Anyway, never went back. So I almost forgot. I did have a thought for today. Thought for the day by Maddie Gukas. Anyway, I don't know how you feel about the Iran situation. All I know is the people of Iran are dancing in the streets. And so I have a unique history. I went to New England College in Henniker, New Hampshire on a hockey scholarship. And New England College had a sister college in Arundel, England. So I had classmates from Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Syria. I'm sure I'm missing a couple of countries, but so that was during the 79, the oil embargo. So my fellow Iranian students in the business program couldn't leave the United States, couldn't go home because travel to and from Iran was restricted, of course. And so I know a little bit more. I guess I have a little more history than some people. Iran used to be a happening place, and so if that happens again, then great. Same with Venezuela, by the way. Venezuela was the hottest tourist destination in the world. You look that up. All right, stay tuned for the 105. Last thing, so it's now 2 p.m. I'm hoping this train left Jackson about 1:30, which is the time that it's supposed to leave in order to be not a late train. And so it should be here by 2:15. If it's not, I'm going to have to shoot down to my home crossing where there's a signal. So I should be getting more because this is like the heart of the residential area. Southern St. Augustine, that's why I didn't know these crossings were here because it's all residential down here. But see the 2 school buses? And then the one before, the lady stopped and gave me a double thumbs up, beeped her horn. Anyway, turning the camera away from the road. And then 2 guys in a truck, another car. Frankly, I'm surprised I'm not getting more because, again, the bus drivers, they all are like the older, let me flip it around, sorry. Older people like me, and they had family or know people still that work for the railroad. The kids in the bus just yelled to me. Anyway, I should hang out here and get more viewers. Well, Matty Gookie's here with you once again at my home crossing. I had to bend in that Wildwood Road, so I actually gave it till 2:20. But looky here, we do have the 105 is on its way. I just wish there was a signal over there, so I I wouldn't feel like I was going to sit there all afternoon anyway. So we'll be able to film a train here shortly. This train should be right along. For my troubles, I get a train meet. Here comes probably the Bunnell local. Coming back, so the 105 should be rolling through here shortly. That local is in the hole in the siding, and we'll get a train meet. All I want for Christmas is the FBC app. Actually, my birthday is next month. Look, I'm not a terrorist. If I were a terrorist, I wouldn't care about your app. I'd hack your system, shut it down, maybe make your train stop so I can blow them up while they're not moving. Anyway, this train is really late. It's I've seen it go by. I've told you, I've seen it go through town at 12:30, and it's now 2:40, pushing 2:40 p.m. and it's still not here. So yeah, bonus material. We got a train meet. Stay tuned. All right, the elusive 105. That horn was for somebody that lives down there. I know. I met the kid. Anyway. All right, here we go. The elusive 105. I'm not going to talk because we're going to have music. So enjoy. All right, there's the meat. All right, here we go. He's cranked up and all right, I'm gonna come over here. So he's coming out of that siding. All right, bonus material.